on Saturday. We should be well and truly tied up, safe and sound at Limehouse, getting excited about going into the Thames tomorrow. But instead, I've been working on the boat again until just now. We went to leave just after Ollie went for his nap at 12:30. Then took the roof off, started the engine, idling fine. As soon as we put it untied, put it into gear to go, the engine cut out. I changed the primary fuel filter earlier in the week after a big trip down here, and I thought I'd let the engine fine, but obviously I hadn't. There's still a little bit of air left. Usually no big deal, but I was unable to crank the engine enough to pump it through to get the air out. So it became really complicated. I didn't know where to look. I thought the secondary fuel filter had been blocked because at times it wasn't pumping through, and then other times it was. To get it to pump through, needed to jumper the house batteries to the starter so that we had enough power to start the starter battery. It's a good battery, but it's just not designed to be cranking that much, and we've got haven't really got any way of charging that quickly. We did turn the generator on, and that was charging it, but like, it's not set up to charge that with a great amount of current. It's looking after the house batteries more so. So did some wiring and have a jumper so that I can use the house batteries to start the engine. Not a bad thing to have in place anyway. And then there were still problems. It was sometimes pumping through and sometimes not. Turned out it was a relay. The starter relay was just a little bit, I don't know, a bit sticky shit. It was sometimes working, sometimes not. So then changed that. Was able to crank it through, get all the air out, no problem. Took about 10 minutes, put it all back together, ready to go. I've done a little test where we're tied up against a good mooring here and put it into gear with the engine running and getting conk out. So I'm hopeful we'll get to Limehouse. Wanted to do that tonight in case there is any issues, and I can deal with it tonight or tomorrow morning, and we can keep our time slot for the lock at Limehouse at 12 o'clock tomorrow. So here we go. Really low bridge here. We're hoping we can make it with the sides of the wheelhouse. If not, I'm going to have to quickly stop and find another plan. It's just me. Erin's washing Ollie. Steel wires that go down to tie the ropes around to hold the boat against the wall. I think I'll do the stern one. Just trying to work out how we do this with Ollie.
I'll look after him, though.
Yeah, maybe because you haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
I've
seen him before. It's alright.
Yeah. So you look after Ollie, and then Erin, you do the bow line. I'll do the stern line. Tie up and then go down and lock. Come out and lock onto the Thames, and it should all be smooth sailing. Hopefully, not too windy. Should be an hour and a half to Chiswick, so we'll still be pushing against the tide when by the time we get there, turn around and we'll still be pushing the tide when we turn around and come back in against the mooring in Chiswick. When we come into the mooring in Chiswick, again, if you can watch Ollie, and Erin, if you go to the bow with the line,
So we have to do a big U-turn, hey?
Yeah.
To work against the
We'll go
tide.
with the current, go past it, turn around, come back, and then be pushing against it. Should be able to just have it almost to the point where we're not moving, is the idea, and then just drop a line on.
Yeah.
In theory. If anything happens, we can turn around and give it another go. So there has been issues with the engine the last couple of days. I think it's fixed. It shouldn't be a problem under power. The only time it's sort of a real problem is when you're under load in tick over, which we probably won't be for any of this trip, really. But if worst comes to worst, if the engine does stall and we're on the tidal Thames, then we need to get the anchor down quickly. So I'll show both of you the anchor. Erin, you should know it. I'll run over it quickly with you. I'll just drop the anchor and then I'll put out a hand-pan call on the radio. Unless it's worse than we think and it'll be a mayday call. Hopefully we don't need to do that. We'll all have life jackets on. If anyone does go over, make sure somebody always keeps an eye on them and then just shout out. Then we'll put out a distress call. We've got life rings just in front of the wheelhouse as well if we need to throw them over.
Ollie's good at repetition. Where's Erin gone?
Where's Erin gone?
Where's Erin gone? Yeah, he'll be great for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ollie's job.
Any questions? Alright, let's do it.
Yeah.
Aye, aye, skipper.
Here comes Mama! Here comes Mama! You ready for the doors to open, Ollie? Yeah, big doors in front of us are going to go open soon. See the doors opening?